The implementation of the Chinese government's digital TV access to 10,000 African villages project is on. Chinese President Xi Jinping announced this project at the December 2015 China-Africa Cooperation as part of China's contribution to digital television expansion in Africa. The Nigerian arm of the project was launched by the Minister of Information and Culture, Mohammed, at KPADUMA village on the outskirts of Abuja. What does this mean for rural Nigeria? What impact will the African Villages project have on the transition from analog to digital TV in the country? We will be looking at these issues and more on Nigeria Today. My name is Dennis ADEGUNLOYE. Welcome. In the studio to discuss digital TV and rural Nigeria against the backdrop of the Chinese government's access to digital TV for 10,000 African villages project is Maxwell Loko. Mr. Loko is the Managing Director, NTA TV Enterprises. You're welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you, Dennis.
Welcome. And also seated beside him is Mr. Justin Zhang, the Chief Executive Officer of StarTimes Nigeria. Thank you for coming to Nigeria Today.
Thank you.
All right, you're both welcome. Now, before we go into the discussion, let's listen to our correspondent, Anthony Forson, his report on the launch of the project in Nigeria by the Minister of Information and Culture.
Flagging of the KPADUMA outlet, the minister expressed satisfaction that the Chinese government have lived up to its promise as the project is coming at a period Nigerians need to be informed ever than before, taking advantage from the digital switchover platform.
May I therefore implore the implementing agency of this project, StarTimes, to expedite the installation of the satellite TV systems in the selected villages ahead of the elections. This will no doubt go a long way in making it easier for Nigerians to make the right choice of candidates to vote for during the elections. In addition, access to information will no doubt have a positive effect on the lives of people in our rural communities. After all, it is said that information is power.
Under the project of the 1,000 carefully selected villages across the country, each center will be equipped with 2 solar-powered projector television systems, while 20 families with television sets in the villages will get a set of direct broadcast satellite terminal system free. Each village provided with the facility will also enjoy 21 free satellite channels for 2 months and subsequently have access to 33 channels at a fee of 900 naira. The Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Xu Pingjing, who described KPADUMA village as unique, taking special look at the population of youths, expressed satisfaction that the Chinese government has lived up to its promise by delivering satellite television to Nigerian villages.
A TV is a window for all of us. From China, we are very happy and proud to be part of the program of your government for you to connect you to the outside world.
The contracting firm StarTimes, whose chief executive officer Jin Zhang said the project has helped in the area of job creation. He added that Nigerians are in to enjoy satellite TV entertainment.
We have been making families happy since we came into the pay TV market in 2010 with only one mission: to provide every African families affordable and enjoyable digital TV service, and we will continue to do so.
Right, this sounds like a very exciting project that's we are looking forward to its expansion in the rural villages. Let me just come to Mr. Justin Sang first. Can you just expatiate for us exactly what impact this project is expected to have and hope to have with regards to the rural villages in Nigeria and Africa?
Yeah, I think for Nigeria, we know more than 50%, more than 50% of the population are still living in the villages.
Yeah.
And in the villages, I think the information is a big problem. How can they get information from outside? So for this project, they will provide each village, they will provide 2 project TVs with solar power system for public use, and also a 32 inches TV, digital TV with solar system too.
Okay.
And the Chinese government also donates 20 DTH decoders to the feminists. I think this one, as the ambassador says, is a window for the villagers, for the world outside, so they can reach the information. I believe this one will give a big and good affection for the villagers. Yes.
All right, Mr. Maxwell, look, you heard what the Minister of Information said about how this would certainly improve access to information to the villagers, especially with the election just around the corner. Just tell us, in your own view, just the significance of this project.
Well, we kind of emphasize the fact that access to information is key, especially now. You know, that the minister even said such information is necessary. And like Justin equally said, these are rural dwellers who constitute majority of our population, and definitely need to have this access to information. And the good thing about it is what really has made people to be skeptical of the project in the first instance is they were not sure what kind of content was going to be dished out to these villagers. But we are assuring them that the content is 99% Nigerian. You have the general entertainment content, which is basically Nigerian. You have the news content, which is almost 100% Nigerian. You have the children entertainment. You have the documentary, which is going to be in almost all the local languages, particularly the major 3 languages, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. So it's going to be a win-win, you know, both for the government and for the people. You know, with nostalgia, we all think back when you stay in the village square. Probably that is how we got the Tales by Moonlight title, by the way. I remember people of our own generation will wait for Minister of Information to come with a Land Rover, come to a central place in the village and show mostly Western movies. And government use that forum, of course, to ingest information that they want people to consume. And I think we're bringing back that kind of memory, that kind of communal living and manner which government can dish out information positively to the people. So that will be what you call you reduce the digital divide. So it's not just restricted to people who are dwelling in the cities, but also the rural people should have access to information. All right,
and the importance of Nigerian content that could not be overemphasized, especially, you know, promoting Nigerian culture, traditions, and the like.
Absolutely.
All right, it's coming back to you, Justin. How many African countries are actually benefiting from this project?
For this project, it will cover 25 countries. So in Nigeria, we will have the 1,000 villages out of these 10,000 villages together. Because Nigeria, you know, Nigeria is the biggest country in Africa, and they have a big population. And definitely, so Chinese governments and us will take Nigeria as the most important countries we need to donate. So I think that's why only Nigeria take 10% of the total donation.
Well, we know that the Chinese are very adept when it comes to technological advancements, but some would say that this is a really massive undertaking on the part of the Chinese. How feasible is it for this project to be, you know, implemented at the soonest possible time?
Now we start the installation just about 1.5 months ago. Now we have finished it more than 300 villages already. So now we are now 18 states give us the list for the villages, and we are still waiting remain 19
states to give us the list to where we should install.
Okay.
But I think once the village list is ready, so we can finish it as soon as possible. So as our plan, I think before the end of January, we can cover more than 500 villages, and before the end of April, so we can finish the whole project.
Right. Okay, that's quite impressive, and we certainly know that Chinese know how to make a lot of use of their positive use of time.
Yeah, I think this one we get a lot of support from the Nigerian community. So in this project, we're also training the installers. We get the installers from outside, and they are really doing good job and very efficiently. So I think I'm really impressed about their work.
All right, Maxwell, how were the villages in Nigeria actually selected for this project?
We must emphasize that the coordinating ministry is a Nigerian Ministry of Budget and National Planning.
Okay.
So they were the ones liaising with the state governors specifically to select the villages, because we wouldn't know the state more than the state governors.
Yeah.
So they were given that opportunity to select. Of course, the criteria was given. The prerequisite that a village is supposed to be qualified is given to the governor. So they now submit the list to the Ministry of Budget and National Planning. Of course, there is a committee that is set up to implement this, of which the Ministry of Budget and National Planning is driving. Those are just the criteria. We didn't select the villages. Okay. The state governors basically selected the villages. And like you said, if there's going to be any delay at all, it's possibly because there is delay from the governors in submitting the list of the villages. And once we have those villages, I think implementation shouldn't be much of a problem, because installers have already been trained.
Okay. What is the role of TV enterprises with regards to the collaboration?
Like you know, NTA, it's a strategic partner of the Star Times.
Yeah.
Now, this aid is coming from the Chinese government, and the contractor per se is the Star Times software technology of China.
Okay.
So invariably, NTA is involved because they are our own strategic partners in Nigeria, and because TVE is representing NTA in the JV, so that clearly explains why TVE is very much involved in the whole process.
All right, so we'll continue our discussion shortly, but let's take a quick break now. You're watching Nigeria Today, and we are discussing digital TV and rural Nigeria. We'll be back shortly after this break.
The Nigerian Television Authority News 24 channel, your dependable all-round news station, offering you world-class news programs, documentaries, spotlights, promos and information highlights. Take advantage of our network reach and advertise your interest, goods and services with us. NTA News 24, first among equals with digital broadcasting. You can reach us on channel 21 terrestrial TV and channel 101 on the Star Times platform. For more inquiries, please call Henry on 0803 379 0884. Join us today.
All right, the program is Nigeria Today, if you're just tuning in, and we are discussing digital TV and rural Africa. And with me in the studio are Maxwell Loko, who is the Managing Director, NTA TV Enterprises, and Mr. Justin Zhang, the Chief Executive Officer, Star Times Nigeria. Let me come back to you, Justin. Why was KPADUMA Village the village that was selected to be the launch of this project?
Just as we discussed, so we did not select the villages.
Okay.
And most of the villages come from the state governments. So they gave us the list. So now the standard is each no government, they will have one village. So I think for the lunch event, we choose KPADUMA office because maybe it's closer, so we can have the ceremony easier.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. There's no technical.
It's technical problem.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
In addition to that,
yeah.
You know, if Nigeria, for instance, is going to benefit 1,000 villages in Nigeria is going to benefit. That means technically you're going to have minimum of 1 village per local government.
Yes.
Yeah. So so KPADUMA falls under the FCT, and like he said, it's quite close. So we can have what we call the ceremonial launch. So we'll have a semblance of what is going to be replicated in 1,000 other villages.
All right. So staying with you, Maxwell, I'm sure you're aware that a lot of rural villages are hampered by the issue of a lack of electricity. Was this factor taken into consideration when, with regards to the implementation of this project?
Yeah, frankly, one of the conditions for a village to benefit is that they should have electricity. But we are not too strict with that condition because we know a lot of these rural areas don't have electricity. Yeah. But the important aspect of this equipment is that they are solar driven. Like Justin said, the one that is going to be for the public general view is solar driven. Yeah. That means whether there is power or not, it derives its power from the solar. Yeah. And of course, the batteries are strong enough to last well over 8 hours or 9 hours. So that means if you begin to watch like 7 p.m., maximum battery strength could last you like to 4 a.m. But I don't see any person watching television from until 4 a.m. anyway. Right. But again we say the rural areas must have electricity because of the families that will benefit. Yeah. He said 20 families will be randomly selected to have the DTH not solar system this time, but DTH system. But those families, we presume, already have television sets, so they'll be issued, they'll be given the decoders, the DTH decoder, so that they can power it with the public power supply or perhaps maybe their generator sets. All right,
Justin, how have the villages so far received this project?
Sorry.
The villages, the reaction of the villages.
Actually, we get a lot of feedback, and they are happy to have this equipment. So some villages, after the installation, they even write letter to us and also to the Nigerian government and the Chinese embassy to say thank you. I think this is a very good project, especially for the rural area. So I think the cultural thing is important. Yeah.
Okay, and how will this project help in the digital migration from analog to digital in Africa and in Nigeria in particular?
I think now for the digital switch over. Yeah. So I think in the city there are many different choices. So people can use DDT, can use DTH, they can have different products to get access. But for the rural area, it will be a bit difficult. For this project, so I think we can will cover 1,000 villages in Nigeria, which means more than 20,000 households. I think this one is a seed. It's not just say, okay, those 20 families will have it, and they will see it, and their neighbors will see it, and their friends will see it, and you can make people in this area understand what's the digital switchover and what they can get after the digital switchover. I think this one it will be it's an educational program. I think it will help us to push the DSO progress.
All right, Maxwell, I'm sure you would concur with.
Yeah, exactly. This does not in any way affect the DSO at all. There are two separate projects. The DSO is still going to go on as planned. 20 families in the village is just a minute percentage.
Drop in the ocean.
Exactly. So, but like he said, it may just give people an idea what the DSO will eventually look like. But you know, the village project is going to ride on DTH, that is a satellite. But DSO is riding on terrestrial, on digital terrestrial. So the model is actually very, very different. But for emphasis for those who don't understand, satellite, of course, you require the dish to be able to watch whatever satellite channels that are coming. But with the digital terrestrial, you don't need a dish. You're going to watch TV like you're always watching with a rooftop antenna and so forth. That will be DSO. So DSO will still run. This in no way is going to affect the DSO. But just to complement what possibly DSO is doing and to bring information closer to the people.
All right, does this project, will it involve any sort of technology transfer?
Well, I don't think so, but you know, again, like Justin said, we're training a lot of installers. These installers, once this project is over, will also come very handy during the DSO installation project, because any person who is proficient in installing a satellite will also be very, very good in installing the digital terrestrial. So we are training them in how to install, maintain, and so forth. And I must also emphasize, this project has a 5-year warranty. That means for the next 5 years, the start times is going to ensure that the equipment function properly at no cost at all to the villagers. But the one going to the families will have a 1-year warranty. So that means in the next 1 year there wouldn't be any issue. So within the 5-year warranty and 1-year warranty, these installers that were being trained are gathering knowledge on how to maintain basic maintenance of digital equipment.
All right, Justin, what would be the relationship between this project and the Belt Road initiative of the present government?
I think this is part of the, it's part of the One Belt, One Road project. You know, there's one important part from the One Belt, One Road is there's you see the communication, between the different countries. So I think for this one, especially for the TV, they can provide information. So for make Nigerian people know, okay, where is China, and how about the friendship between China and Nigeria. So I think this one can make the people understand each other better.
All right, Maxwell, finally, this is obviously another feather in the cap in relations between China and Nigeria. How is this going to further cement the relations between the two countries?
It's going to do, because this project is just one out of what the Chinese president Xi Jinping called the 10 major China-African cooperation plan. Now, if you look at the 10 major plans, which is not the reason we're here, this one we're doing is one of it, which is called people-to-people plan. And the idea is that once you have that kind of relationship, people to people, you cement relationship, not only internally, but of course with a friendly country like China that has always been a brother to Nigeria. And
All right, well, it's been an interesting discussion, but this is where we'll leave it for now. Hopefully we'll be able to have you back to further enlighten us on the progress of the project. We've been discussing digital switchover and rural Nigeria, but that is the end of the program, and we thank you to our guests, who were Mr. Maxwell Loko, who is the Managing Director, NTA TV Enterprises, and Mr. Justin Sang, the CEO, StarTimes Nigeria. Thank you both for your insights on Nigeria today.
Thank you very much.
All right, and to our guests, as ever, we thank you for watching, and remember you can watch this episode or any other on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. I am Dennis. ADEGUNLOYE. Bye for now.